For this edition of Reading for Succeeding, we're going to come right into the 21st century. How do we handle our mobile phones, our digital communications? How are they holding us back? How are they getting in the way? We want to use the phone, but not be abused by the phone, which is why this latest book, How to Break Up with Your Phone by Catherine Price, proved to be such a winner when I read it. Catherine Price says our lives are what we pay attention to. When you grab your device, ask yourself where you plan to focus your attention. This makes your phone use intentional, cutting down on the mindless, random scrolling. Secondly, when the urge to check your phone comes, Catherine Price believes finding alternatives is essential. Must you check your phone right now, or are you reaching for it out of a habit or trying to get a fix? Finally, Price recommends taking a pause before checking your device. We reach for our phones 144 times a day. Before doing so, take a breath and acknowledge that urge to check it.
A lot of these apps, a lot of the most problematic apps, make money based on how much time we spend on them. The attention economy. So they have every motivation in the world to get us to spend more attention and time on their apps. And they do that by copying techniques that they got straight from slot machines, which are widely considered to be the most addictive machines ever to have been invented. And what they do is slot machines hook us by triggering the release of dopamine, this chemical that gets us to repeat behaviors. And our dopamine systems are essential to the survival of our species because dopamine helps us remember to eat and to reproduce. But it's a totally non-discriminatory system. The dopamine system does not care if it's a habit you want to pursue or need, or if it's a waste of time or destructive. That means that if you want to create a product that will hook people, all you need to do is bake dopamine triggers into the product's design. And that's going to reinforce the idea that doing it is worth doing again and again. So all the problematic apps, social media, shopping, games, news, all of those have different forms of dopamine triggers baked in. In the case of those two categories, I would say novelty and unpredictability are two big
But you have to balance this off, don't you? And this is, as I read your book, I found that to be the most difficult side. Balancing off the utility of this magnificent machine that will give me maps, it will let me do banking, it will do all at the same time with the negative. How do you balance it?
Well, that's the challenge, right? Because our phones are essential now, and in many cases enjoyable, but they're packed with all of these distractions and time-sucking things too. So I think the first step is the awareness that your phone is not just one monolith. It's a collection of different apps, each of which have different values. And I've never met anyone who's gotten sucked into Google Maps or who's like, just spends hours a day in their banking app, you know? Like, I actually get to the point there, I've taken so much off my phone that I have personally checked my health app to look at my cholesterol numbers again and again, because they're pretty good. But like, in general, that's not a time suck. So I think the first step is to ask yourself, what parts about your phone do you find necessary, practical, or enjoyable and want to keep? And then what parts are sucking you out of your life in a way that feels bad? Those are the things you want to reduce or eliminate.
Where is it? Screen?
Oh, screen time under settings?
It's a screen. Oh, crikey. That can't be right.
You're like, there's not actually that many hours in a day.
No, it's not. With the exception of these last couple of days, if I look back over the last 3 or 4 weeks, having read the book and put in place, I can see definite reduction.
Oh, interesting. And how do you feel? Even more importantly than the absolute number.
Fine. I feel excellent about it.
Yeah.
It has made me notice my husband's use of his phone.
I thought you were going to say, it's made me notice his smile.
No,
the way that he,
but that's what. But you say you refer to this in the book.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you see this, that's the caveat. Once you start noticing this, then you can't unsee it. So I tell people it's like kind of like seeing a family member naked, where you can't erase it from your mind. Like once you start noticing how much everyone's on their phone, like you're kind of not going to be able to get that out of your head.